What is going on, guys? 2019 saw Ryan Tannehill revive his career following a trade to the Tennessee Titans. 2020 saw Tom Brady claim his 7th Super Bowl after leaving the only NFL team he ever knew, just when it looked like he was well past his prime. What are we trying to get at? In short, sometimes all a quarterback needs is a change of scenery in order to get their careers back on track. With that said, let's take a look at 8 quarterbacks who could revive their careers on a new team in 2021. Before we start, we just want to let you know about our awesome giveaway at the end of the month, where we'll be giving away $500 cash to 3 lucky subscribers. Consider this our way of giving back to you, the fans of TPS, who help make all of this possible. To enter into the contest, all you need to do is subscribe and have your notifications on. And you've got to be commenting on our videos regularly throughout the month. So make sure you hit the bell along with liking and commenting on our videos. If you're already subscribed and have notifications on, then all you have to do is like and comment, and you'll be automatically entered into the random draw. Good luck. Number 8, Sam Darnold, San Francisco 49ers. Sam Darnold didn't really get a good chance. The New York Jets simply haven't gotten much out of the number 3 pick from the 2018 draft. Meanwhile, other 2018 draftees like Baker Mayfield, Josh Allen, and Lamar Jackson have grown into superstar franchise quarterbacks. Yes, Darnold has been stuck with bad coaching, management, and a very poor supporting cast. But also, look at what Deshaun Watson has done on a dysfunctional Houston Texans franchise. Darnold has had 3 years to showcase his talents. He owns a 13-25 record with just 45 touchdowns against a whopping 39 interceptions. Darnold has barely averaged over 200 passing yards a game through his first 3 seasons too. The Jets own the number 2 selection in a quarterback-friendly 2021 draft class. If you ask us, it's an easy call to trade Darnold and take either Zach Wilson or Justin Fields. And the 49ers make perfect sense as a landing spot for Darnold. The 49ers already have a starter in Jimmy Garoppolo, and it remains to be seen what they do with him this offseason. But it wouldn't surprise us if they decided to move on and take a shot with Darnold. Maybe an offensive genius like Kyle Shanahan can help unlock Darnold's skill set. He'd be in a great situation, behind a top-notch O-line with a superb running game, plus George Kittle and Brandon Ayuk as his pass catchers. That's a lot more to work with than what he has now. Added up, and the 49ers look like the ideal landing spot for Darnold to get his career on track. And honestly, as a Jets fan, I hope the best for him, to be honest, because this shit sucks. Come on. Number 7, Mitch Trubisky, Atlanta Falcons. 2020 was a make-or-break season for Trubisky with the Bears. He had some brief late-season flashes that helped Chicago nab the final wildcard spot in the NFC. But all things considered, he didn't do enough to earn himself another season in the Windy City. Trubisky mustered only 16 touchdown passes and 8 interceptions in the 9 starts, averaging a pedestrian 205.5 passing yards per game. His decision-making just wasn't good enough, and he was unable to help the Bears' talented offense come together. Trubisky only regained the starting job mid-season after Nick Foles suffered a hip injury. Again, credit to Mitch for finishing the regular season on a strong note, but it was too little too late. Chicago has to look in another direction, and Trubisky needs a change of scenery. So why the Falcons? Well, Matt Ryan is likely playing out his final year in Atlanta. He's probably not going anywhere in 2021 because of his contract, but it feels like a split in 2022 is almost a certainty. Yes, Atlanta could draft Ryan's successor with a number 4 pick, or they could address another position of need with that pick and grab Mitch Trubisky on a bargain deal in hopes of reviving his career. Think about it. New Falcons head coach Arthur Smith just so happens to be the former Tennessee Titans offensive coordinator. You know, the guy who turned Ryan Tannehill into a Pro Bowl caliber quarterback and a Comeback Player of the Year award winner. So who's to doubt Smith's ability to fix Trubisky? This guy would be joining an offense with Calvin Ridley, Hayden Hurst, and Julio Jones, assuming the latter stays put. It's just a thought, but Smith already fixed one quarterback's career, so we firmly believe that he could get Trubisky going as well. Number 6, Andy Dalton, Denver Broncos. Dalton's 1-year tenure with the Dallas Cowboys was quite disappointing, that's to say the very least. After Dak Prescott went down with a brutal season-ending ankle injury in Week 5, the Cowboys had good reason to believe that the former Cincinnati Bengals Pro Bowler would be able to right the ship. I mean, Dalton did lots of good things in Cincinnati. He's not incapable, and he had a tremendous supporting cast around him in Dallas. But Dalton couldn't make the most of it. He lost 5 of 9 starts and had 14 touchdowns against 8 picks, averaging a mere 197.3 passing yards per game. And the Cowboys failed to win the laughably weak NFC East. So Dalton won't be returning to Big D, as Jerry Jones prepares to fill out a giant check for Prescott. Money, 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 money. For the second straight offseason, Dalton's best bet will be to take a backup role and see if the chance to start arises. Enter the Denver Broncos. 2019 second-round pick Drew Lock followed up a promising rookie year with a frustrating sophomore campaign. He lost 9 of 13 starts and had just 16 touchdowns, along with 15 interceptions. We understand that the Broncos want to give Locke one more year to prove himself, but they have to at least provide some competition for him. And Dalton, with 144 career games under his belt, would fill that role perfectly. If Locke can take his game to another level, maybe Dalton can make the most of a superb supporting cast that consists of Cortland Sutton, Jerry Jeudy, Noah Fant, KJ Hamler, and Melvin Gordon. It never hurts to give a young QB like Locke an extra push, and the Broncos would have a valuable insurance should he fall to produce. That's why Dalton to Denver makes all the sense in the world. Number 5, Marcus Mariota, Chicago Bears. The former Oregon Ducks star wasn't terrible in Tennessee by any means. His production just wasn't good enough, and the rise of Ryan Tannehill made the Titans' decision to move on a pretty easy one. Mariota took a backup role with the Las Vegas Raiders, signing a 2-year deal in 2020 free agency. He only made one brief appearance, however. Derek Carr's stellar play left John Gruden with an easy choice: to keep Mariota on the bench. But the Raiders have little reason to carry an expensive backup around. At the same time, Mariota is still good enough to start, provided it's the right fit, and the Bears are an intriguing landing spot for him. Unlike Trubisky, Mariota is more careful with the football and won't commit those mind-numbing mistakes. But Mariota can excel in a game manager role as a dual-threat quarterback. The Bears are largely carried by their stingy defense and an efficient ground game, led by 2020 breakout star David Montgomery. This is a team that just needs a decent quarterback under center. Maybe Mariota can be that guy. So if you're Chicago, why not make a trade for him and find out? The Raiders will be happy to get his salary off their books, and the cost would probably be nothing more than a late-round selection. Mariota is only 27 years old, so if he does succeed, the Bears will have found their long-term answer at quarterback. For the Bears, this would be a low-risk move with a potentially very high reward. Number 4, Nick Foles, Philadelphia Eagles. Foles never cut it as the starter of the St. Louis Rams, or the Jacksonville Jaguars, or Chicago Bears. It's no coincidence that his best play has come in 2 separate stints with the Eagles, which makes us think, why not bring him back for a third go? Why not? Who's it gonna hurt? The fans would love it. BDN coming back? That's dope. I mean, the stats don't lie. Foles is 21-11 as Philly's starter, with 58 touchdowns and just 23 interceptions. Good enough for a superb 93.2 quarterback rating. Not to mention, he led his team to a Super Bowl 52 championship, and that he's led them to the postseason 3 times. Jalen Hurts is a starter following Carson Wentz's move to the Indianapolis Colts, but it doesn't hurt to have some veteran insurance in case Hurts struggles or gets injured. I mean, having Foles' insurance only led Philly to a Lombardi trophy before, which is, it's wild. That is wild for them. Very jealous. Very jealous. Very jealous. Foles won't be the Bears starter in 2021, and it's clear that he's only at his best if he's with the Eagles. So it makes sense for the Super Bowl 52 MVP to reunite with his team that made him a legend in Philly. Number 3, Drew Lock, New Orleans Saints. In the event that the Broncos decide to find a new starting quarterback to replace Lock, well, they may as well trade for the guy and get something for him, rather than keep Lock around as a backup. So if the Broncos decide to end the Drew Lock project, where should his next stop be? The New Orleans Saints seem like the perfect location. With Drew Brees retired, the Saints will likely roll with the tandem of Jameis Winston and gadget guy Taysom Hill. But a guy like Sean Payton can never have too many quarterbacks, and Locke might be worth a look. Winston will have to show he's capable of flourishing in New Orleans offense, without committing all those costly turnovers that led his departure from Tampa Bay. If Winston struggles, then Payton's in trouble. As fun as Hill is, he's not a true QB1. But maybe Locke would make the most of an opportunity with the Saints. He'd have a quarterback's guru coaching him and a grade A supporting cast, led by Alvin Kamara and Michael Thomas, not to mention one of the league's top offensive lines. If Denver outright releases Locke, he could always do what Winston did and take the 1-year deal with New Orleans to learn from Sean Payton. It may not be a starting role, but it may be the best move that Locke can make in the long run. Number 2, Cam Newton, Washington football team. Newton simply wasn't a fit in the New England Patriots offense. Mind you, the guy didn't have a whole lot to work with in the pass catching department. Neither did Tom Brady, and that's a huge reason why he left the Patriots in the first place. Newton can still play. He did have some good moments with the Patriots. It's just going to take the right coach and supporting cast though. To us, the Washington football team checks off both of those boxes. For starters, he'd reunite with old friend Ron Rivera, the coach who turned him into an MVP quarterback in Carolina. Secondly, Newton would have a nice set of weapons in Antonio Gibson, Terry McLaurin, and Logan Thomas. His dual-threat style would work beautifully in this Washington offense. And finally, Newton wouldn't have to put up with a ton of points to help this team win. Now with Chase Young leading a top-notch defense that only allowed 20.6 points per game last season. Washington used 4 different starting quarterbacks last season, and they still managed to win 7 games and the NFC East division. Bring in Newton, and you have a team that can win 10+ games and possibly compete for a Super Bowl. Come on, Washington and Newton need each other. And this is the perfect match on paper. Number 1, Jimmy Garoppolo, New England Patriots. Though Kyle Shanahan gave a vote of confidence to Garoppolo for 2021, we can't help but think the 49ers will look in another direction. We proposed the idea of them acquiring Sam Darnold. If not him, how about Deshaun Watson? Or what about drafting Garoppolo's replacement? Either way, it makes sense for the 49ers to move on from Garoppolo, which would save them $24 million. Yeah, hey, you know what? If you're saving that money, give it to me. Give it to me. I could use it. I'll use it for good, I swear. And a Lambo. Maybe 2. I don't know. And there's only one logical landing spot for Jimmy G outside of San Fran. That would, of course, be the New England Patriots. After all, Bill Belichick drafted and developed this guy with the idea of succeeding Tom Brady. But the latter's remarkable longevity put a wrench in those plans. And the Pats wound up dealing Garoppolo to the 49ers in his 2017 contract year. Garoppolo knows that Patriot system very well, and we saw him perform like a star in the 2 games he started in 2016. You have to think Garoppolo would quickly grasp Josh McDaniels' playbook and perform like a Pro Bowler again. Of course, bringing back Garoppolo means upgrading the receiver position. Belichick has all the cap space in the world to make a big splash or 2 in this offseason. If he were to do that, the Patriots would be a legitimate contender again. Belichick never wanted Garoppolo to go in the first place. Here's the chance to reunite as he tries to rebuild his team into a championship contender following Brady's departure. This move feels inevitable, but only time will tell if it actually happens. Where do you think these quarterbacks will play in 2021? Join me in the comments section below. Make sure to follow myself and TPS on social media. We post great content all the time: Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube. We are on everything. Go subscribe, go follow, go check us out. Really. Make sure to like this video. It helps us out, and we really appreciate it. Make sure to subscribe to TPS. We post videos every single day. Every day is a new video. Why would you not want sports content every day? Come on. Of course, thank you so much for watching. I'm Jason Biondo. I'll see you next time.